Hey, Mrs. Wheatley, thank you for meeting with me today. Um, I understand that you're just dealing with some anxiety and that you would like to just talk about that. So one of the things we do is we have an assessment. So what I'm going to do is ask you some questions, and we're just going to go through a list of things just so I kind of have a better understanding of what's going on. Does that all sound well?
Sure.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to ask you 9 questions real quick. And what I want you to do is we're going to rate it 0 to 3. So 0 means not at all, that you're not experiencing these things at all. 1 would be several days you're experiencing this over the last 2 weeks. 2 would be more than half the days that you've experienced this over the last 2 weeks. And finally, 3 would be nearly every day. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and we'll go through this nice and slow. Just want you to understand. So let's just go through this. So are you having little interest or pleasure in doing things? 0, 1, 2, or 3?
2.
2, okay. What about feeling down, depressed, or hopeless?
2.
2, okay, more than half the days. Do you have any trouble falling asleep or staying asleep? Are you sleeping too much?
1.
1, okay. And what about feeling tired or having little energy?
3.
3. Okay. What about a poor appetite or overeating?
1.
1, okay. About feeling bad about yourself, or that you are a failure, or that you have to let yourself or your family down?
2.
That? 2? Okay, so more than half the days. All right. What about trouble concentrating on things such as reading the newspaper or watching TV?
1.
What about moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed, or the opposite, being so fidgety that you're just restless and moving all around more than usual?
1.
1, okay. And finally, for this one, thoughts you have, you would be better off dead or hurting yourself. Have you thought that at all over the last 2 weeks?
2.
2, wow. Okay. Well, I got one more questionnaire, and then we'll talk a little bit about that final question, but thank you for answering so honestly. I really appreciate that. So since you've been dealing with anxiety, this test that we're gonna just go over these questions, is just kind of helps me rate the anxiety that you're experiencing and what you're going through. So what it is it's the same thing. It's going to be a 0, 1, 2, or 3 is what you're going to rate it. 0 means you're not experiencing this at all. 1 means mildly, but it didn't bother me much. 2 would be moderately, it wasn't pleasing at times. And 3 would be severely, it bothered me a lot. So just rate yourself 0, 1, 2, or 3 on all these things. So are you experiencing numbness or tingling at all?
0.
0, okay. Feeling hot?
2.
2. Wobbliness in legs?
0.
0. Unable to relax?
3.
3, okay. Fear of worst happening?
3.
3. Dizzy or lightheaded?
1.
Okay. Heart pounding or racing?
Excuse me. 1.
Unsteady?
1.
Okay. Terrified or afraid?
2.
2. Nervous?
2.
2. Feeling of choking?
0.
Okay. Hands trembling?
1.
Shaking or unsteady?
1,
1. Fear of losing control?
2,
2. Difficulty in breathing?
0,
0. Okay. Fear of dying?
1,
Scared?
1,
Do you have any like indigestion issues?
3,
3. Faint or lightheaded?
1,
How about your face feeling flushed or being flushed?
0,
0. And finally, hot and cold sweats?
2,
2. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at these, and this just kind of give us an idea that next time we meet, we can talk about them. I do just want to talk about the thoughts of that you would be better off dead or hurting yourself. That's a very serious thing, and we'll step outside for a minute and just have a moment, and then I want to come back and we'll just talk about that issue. But I think right now we've got all the information we need. Do you have any questions or anything before we stop?
no.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Wheatley. I appreciate you for answering all these questions for me.